Hi, we're Brian and Tina with Jonesin to Go.
We've been full-timing for about a year and a half now.
I think our story is probably similar to most, maybe a little bit different. So we had been snowbirding for about 6 or 7 years in our other Montana. And our plan really wasn't to start full-timing when we did. Our original plan was like 11 years ago, we built a brand new house, right? And when we built that house, the plan was to not only live in it, die in it, and then haunt it, but we were going to travel as well, and probably like 6 months. You know, we'd take off late in the spring, go explore, maybe land in Florida for the winter time, and then back home for about 6 months, and then rinse and repeat. And you know, things just started changing in our life like they do many people's lives. You know, the kids grew up, they're raising their own kids.
Far too busy for us.
Far too busy for us. You know, we built this big house thinking the holidays it would be full of kids and grandkids, and it just
never happened.
Didn't work out that way. And even if we back up a little bit, how we even started snowbirding was just for that reason. Because of our kids' schedules, it was like an act of Congress just to get all three kids and the grandkids in one place at one time. And it was Christmas, for instance, was never on Christmas. It was either a week or two before, and then we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs while they're off doing their thing on Christmas. And we said, this is stupid. So let's go to Florida.
Let's go to the beach for Christmas.
Yeah, so that started our snowbirding for a few, about 6 years, 6 or 7 years. And then we kind of started the YouTube channel, and it wasn't really, that was not our intent to start a YouTube channel. We started doing it just so we could share with our kids what we were up to, and they had a link to click, and then it kind of gradually moved into something different. We did a 1-year review of our last RV, which was a Montana also, and we gave the good, the bad, the ugly, what we liked about it, what we hated about it, everything. And I was telling Tina one day, I said, I wonder if Keystone will actually see that video, if they will be upset about the things we didn't like. Well, they saw it, and they actually reached out to us and said, hey, thanks for an honest review. That's what they're looking for from their owners. And they invited us to be ambassadors, and we were like,
what the heck is an ambassador?
What? Yeah. And why do we even want to bother with that, right? And initially it was kind of for selfish reasons we decided to do it. We thought, well, maybe it'll help our YouTube channel grow, and maybe it'll evolve into something. And we don't even look at it like that anymore. It's become a community. Keystone has kind of welcomed us into the Keystone family, whether it's an employee or an ambassador. We're not employees, we don't work for them. We're kind of advocates for other owners. So we can share our experience, help them with any concerns they have or questions. And we are, like I said, invited into the whole Keystone family. So we get to see the inner workings of the company, from their customer service to production, to the sales. We get to see how it all works. And it helps us explain it to other owners and get them some answers that they need. So it's kind of developed into a community. And
from there, everyone that we met through the Keystone Ambassador program, like other fellow ambassadors, they're like, you should be on Instagram, and you should be on Facebook, and you should be putting out reels and all this and that. And I was really hesitant in the beginning, but we did it. So there's that.
And that kind of sped up the going full time. And honestly, when that happened, when we decided, okay, let's do it, let's take a leap. I always joked for years, I'm going to retire when I'm 55. I'll be damned if that is what happened. And I'm still surprised to this day that I'm this young and we're out here doing this. It happened a lot faster than we thought it would. For instance, when we decided to sell the house, that was a big question. Do we keep the house and come back to it? Do we rent it out? What do we do? And at the end of the day, I didn't want to be worried about it all the time while we were on the road. So we decided to sell it. And then I also sold my business, but it all happened so fast that
I sold everything we owned in 6 weeks?
Yeah, and so I was off working on a project while she was doing that, and then I would come home on the weekends and help her. But I mean, when I say it happened so fast, like the real estate sign never even hit the yard. The house was gone that fast. The business sold that fast. And it kind of put us in a tailspin. So we're out here like, okay, we're out here doing it, now what? And so honestly, the first year was really,
It was a struggle.
it was rough because we had to adjust to being away from the kids, being away from small town life that we were used to.
And finding something to do with ourselves. Not every day's a vacation.
No, and I think that's the thing that we hear from a lot of full-timers is you're not on vacation every day. And so we've been kind of trying to navigate that and get just kind of get into a groove and get into a routine. And it was kind of funny because a good friend of ours, John from Cottywampo Travelers, he said, we were having this conversation and he said, the next time I see you, in his Georgia accent, he said, you'll have a routine, you'll be in your routine. And I think we're still trying to find that routine, but I think we're slowly getting there. So it's been kind of an adjustment, but I think we're getting there. And that's kind of where this rig comes into play. So we had a 35-foot Montana before this. And then when we decided, yep, we're doing this, we ordered a new rig. And I think we did it right. We ordered the rig, it was coming. So before the house was sold, that plan was in place. So we sat down with the folks at Keystone and we spec'd this thing out, and you can see it's kind of a monster. I never thought I'd be pulling a 44-foot rig down the road every day or every couple of weeks, but here I am doing that. But we'll give you a tour and we'll show you why we chose this particular rig and how it works out for us. And it just makes having a home on the road just that much easier. Okay, so a real quick story of how we got to this floor plan. This is a Montana Legacy 3901 RK, which stands for rear kitchen. We were down to 2 floor plans that we knew it was going to be one or the other. And 2 years ago at the Tampa RV show, this floor plan was there in its first year, and they also debuted the new Montana front office. And we loved both of them. And when it came down to, okay, now it's time, we got to pick one, we were still going back and forth. Both of us really loved this floor plan, with the exception of Tina. She said, I don't want a half bath. I'm absolutely not having a half bath. So we actually went to Tierra RV in Elkhart, Indiana. They had both floor plans sitting on the lot side by side. I said, let's just go over there and let's sit in both of them for an hour and we'll talk about this. And she never gave in on the half bath. It was a deal breaker, not having it. So I said, you know what if that half bath was something different? And she said, now you have my attention. So I said, it's a big half bath. It's one of the biggest half baths you're gonna find in any RV. What if we made it into an office? So when we get inside, you'll see that's exactly what we have, an office, not a half bath, hence the Jones edition on the Legacy. So it was kind of a custom deal that we did after the fact. So let's start out with another reason that we really liked this was being full-time, we thought we're gonna need a ton of storage. And even though we're finding out we're probably gonna be still purging stuff, that was one of the things that we really liked about this. So we have the big pass-through in the front, which we added the second MORryde pull-out tray so that for convenience. So on the door side, I have it all set up to cook. And we prefer to cook outside every chance that we get. So it's really nice to just pull this out, light the grill, cook, go in and eat. And by the time you're done eating, everything's cooled off. Come in and just put it away. Cleanup is that easy. Now on the other side, it comes out on the service side, and that's where I keep hose reels, the water softener equipment, the water filters and all that. They just pull out for setup when we're setting up and tearing down. It'll pull out on that side. And then we also have, the standard storage up front like every fifth wheel has, where all the batteries are at. And we keep lawn chairs and things like that up there for just easy storage, and it's really convenient. But the crown jewel of the storage on this rig is in the back. Now, this probably won't look as organized as I'd like for you to see that it is, or tell you that I stay organized, because sometimes you just get busy. So we have storage on both sides, on each side. And then we have the second MORryde tray. That's an 8-foot tray that just pulls out for convenience as well. So all that big stuff that maybe you don't use on a regular basis, It goes there. You know, things like, you know, you're full time, so I still carry all my hunting gear and stuff like that, because you just never know when that opportunity is going to come up. I don't want to miss it. Or even if we're in the state park and they've got an archery range or something, it gives me something to do. All right, so when we were speccing out the new rig, one of the most important things to me was to have a good suspension and good brakes. Because of past experiences that we had with leaf springs and drum brakes, we knew we wanted something better if we were going to be full-time on the road. So this is a 2024 model. In the 2024 model year, Montana started offering the independent suspension from MoreRide directly from the factory, so that was a no-brainer. And then we also have D-Max premium disc brakes on there that have the premium actuators, so that it works with the truck brakes rather than that typical delay. So those two features were basically the independent suspension for me was just for longevity of the rig, taking all that shock of the road away from the rig. And then of course the brakes is just a safety issue. If you're going to be on the road as much as we're going to be on the road, I want to make sure we stop in time. So those were two pretty important features. All right, let's go inside and we'll turn it over to Tina and she can talk about all the inside features.
Well, first, I guess we could show you this office space that we created out of the half bath, since it's right here at the door. So our plan is to have an actual window where the fake window is there hanging on the wall. But it's nice because we have an exhaust fan and heat and air and everything. So even though it's a small space, it works well for what we need it for.
Yeah, that is nice. It's really nice.
And then this is our hangout space, our living area. We like it because we can get lots of friends in here on crappy weather days and just have a comfortable place to hang out and chill. One of the things we did was we added the faux fire mantle and the shelf behind the sofa there, so we have a place to sit things.
Yeah, somebody insisted she had to have some place to hang stockings at Christmas time. So,
well, you know, it is our home.
but
so.
you know what they say, happy wife, happy life. So I built a mantle.
Alrighty, let's go up to the kitchen. And up here we have all kinds of space, all kinds of storage space, I should say. Full residential appliances. We can cook pretty much anything. In fact, we did a turkey here Thanksgiving.
One of the questions that we get when people ask to see this rig when they find out that it's a rear kitchen is, okay, it's a rear kitchen and I see your refrigerators on the back wall. How does that work out for you? We took that into consideration when we picked this floor plan, and that's exactly why we have MoreRide's independent suspension. And we have compared notes with people who have similar floor plans without the independent suspension, and we don't have near the issues that they have as far as things coming displaced in the refrigerator. There's really not a whole lot of prep with us with the independent suspension. She puts what, some tension rods in the refrigerator?
I do have the refrigerator. I mean, I had an incident one time where stuff slid forward, so I put the tension rods in there and help keep things, you know, back so that they're not falling out at you. But, you know, I did that with our other camper too.
But with the independent suspension, this part of our RV is really the only part that we really prep for travel, other than putting loose things that are around in the living room away.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of travel prep with the independent suspension, so that's been worth every penny.
Well, in fact, our office, we don't have to put anything away in there except for the mouse that goes to the laptop.
Yeah, we throw that in a basket and that's the prep.
That's it.
So the front of this rig is another one of the reasons why we chose this, and I'm going to let Tina go up there and give you that. The master suite, and I'll just say before she goes up there to show it to you, what I like the most about it is I get up far earlier than she does in the morning. And with our last RV, the closet was right next to the bed in the cap of the... So if Brian didn't get his clothes out the night before, Tina was crabby the next day because he was waking her up. So when you get up there and see this, I can get up, get dressed, get ready, and not even bother her in the morning. So that's one of the features I really like. And that's my 2 cents about the floor plan. The rest,
Well,
let her have it.
So my overall feel of the floor plan, the thing that I was drawn to was that each room is its own space. And for an RV, each room feels spacious. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Let's go front and we'll show you what that looks like. Come on in. So this is obviously our bedroom. We have a king size bed, so plenty of space to stretch out and get cozy. And a massive dresser, which lots of storage. So in the front of our rig, we have our master bath, which is another reason why I didn't feel like a half bath was a necessity, because this one is so big. I'll let you go on in. So we have dual vanity. That's one thing that I probably don't necessarily feel like is a necessity for us, because we don't need 2 sinks. But, you know, it came with, so it's nice to have that extra counter space and storage, tons of storage in here. And the crown jewel, in my opinion, is this master closet. It is huge. In fact, I kid with the grandkids and tell them that it's actually 3 rooms in one. You get a closet, you get a laundry room, and a changing room, because you can actually go in there and get dressed.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good amount of space.
It is, and there's shelves on that side too.
Oh yeah.
And look, we have empty shelf space even.
I wouldn't know what that is. Yeah. Yeah, this is nice. I really like this floor plan a lot. This is a nice.
But
First time I
like I
walked in.
said, I love it because every room is its own space and every room feels spacious.
So that's how we travel in luxury in our Montana legacy. You know, and at the beginning of the video, I was telling you about what an adjustment it was. But what are the positive things about living this life? Everybody says the same thing. The people you meet.
It's the RV community. It's amazing.
And nope, the dog's going to chime in. But quick story. So Sean and Angela here from RV Your Way. How we met them was in a rest stop in Iowa. We were on our way back from South Dakota, going to a rally, and I think you guys were heading in the same direction as well.
Yep.
And then we ran into him again, crossed paths this past September in Hershey, and it's a lifelong friendship now.
Yep.
So that's the positive thing about this lifestyle. The one thing that we really like. And, you know, being in a 1,000 trail system, there are some people who go online and will knock that system. But the nice thing about being in that system is you cross paths with people all over the country that you've seen before, and you just build friendships from there.
And without these friendships, you know, it would be pretty lonely just sitting around a rig all the time with nothing to do and hanging out with each other. You know, you get on each other's nerves. So
Yeah.
you got to have friends. That's the key.
Yep. So thanks for taking a tour with us. Yeah. Remember, we're Jonesin to go, and hop on over there and see what we're up to.
Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Well, thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming over.